It was 11 a.m. At the city's largest bank, an elderly man dressed in simple clothes walked in, holding an old envelope in his hand. As soon as he entered, all the customers and bank staff began staring at him strangely. This man's name was Charan Das. With a stick in one hand and the envelope in the other, he slowly made his way toward the customer service counter. At the counter sat a woman employee named Seema. Every eye in the bank was on Charan Das as he approached Seema and politely said, "Look, daughter, there seems to be some issue with my account. It's not working properly." As he spoke, he handed her the envelope. Seema looked at the envelope, then at Charan Das's clothes and said, "Baba, maybe you've come to the wrong bank. I don't think your account is here." Charan Das gently replied, "Daughter, just check once. Maybe my account is with this bank." Seema took the envelope and said, "This will take some time, you'll have to wait." Saying this, she and the others resumed their work. Charan Das stood patiently, waiting. After a while he said, "Daughter, if you're busy, maybe you can call the manager. I have something to discuss with him too." Seema reluctantly picked up the phone and dialed the manager Sunil's cabin. She told him an elderly man wanted to meet him. Manager Sunil looked from afar at Charan Das and asked over the phone, "Is this man a customer of our bank or just someone who walked in randomly?" Seema replied, "Sir, I'm not sure, but he insists on meeting you." Sunil said, "I don't have time for such people. Just make him sit down. He'll leave after a while." Following his instructions, Seema asked Charan Das to wait in the waiting area. Charan Das slowly walked to the corner chair and sat down. Everyone in the bank kept staring at him because most customers there wore suits and were visibly wealthy, while Charan Das looked extremely ordinary. Some people started whispering. One called him a beggar. Another said, "He can't possibly have an account here." Even Charan Das heard these comments but ignored them, waiting patiently for his turn. He thought, "Soon, the manager will come, and I'll talk to him." A junior employee at the bank named Amit returned from outside and noticed the elderly man sitting in the waiting area, with everyone staring and whispering about him. Some said he looked like a beggar, others questioned why he was allowed inside. Amit was disturbed by this. He walked straight up to Charan Das and respectfully asked, "Baba, why have you come here? What can I help you with?" Charan Das calmly replied, "I need to meet the manager. I have some important work with him." Amit said, "Okay, Baba, please wait, I'll go talk to him right away." Amit entered the manager's cabin and told him about the elderly man. Manager Sunil replied, "Yes, I know. I asked him to sit there. He'll leave eventually." Then Sunil gave Amit some other tasks and told him not to worry about it. Meanwhile, Charan Das had been sitting quietly for an hour. Eventually, he could wait no longer. He got up and walked toward the manager's cabin. Seeing him approach, Sunil quickly stepped out and arrogantly asked, "Yes, Baba, what do you want?" Charan Das handed over the envelope and said, "Son, this has all the details of my bank account. I'm unable to make any transactions. Please check what the issue is." Sunil smirked and said, "Baba, when there's no money in an account, this is what happens. I'm sure you haven't deposited anything. That's why your account is inactive." Charan Das politely replied, "Son, it would be better if you check first, then tell me. How can you assume?" Sunil laughed and said, "This is years of experience, I can tell by looking at someone." Sunil continued mockingly, "I know who has money in their account just by their face. I'm sure your account has nothing. Now please leave. Customers are watching and you're creating a scene." Charan Das calmly placed the envelope on the table and said, "All right, son, I'll leave. But please read the details inside this envelope once." Saying this, he slowly walked toward the exit. As he reached the door, he turned and said, "You will pay a heavy price for this." Then he left the bank quietly. Sunil heard his words but brushed them off, thinking, "Old man just said it out of frustration." He got back to work. The envelope remained on the table. Amit later picked it up and decided to look into it. Logging into the bank's server, he began checking the account details mentioned in the letter. What he found shocked him. This man owned 60% of the bank's shares. He wasn't just a customer, he was practically the bank's owner. Amit double-checked the records and printed a copy of the report. With the printed report, Amit went to manager Sunil, who was busy talking to a rich client and explaining investment schemes. Amit knocked and signaled to enter. Sunil gestured, asking why he was there. Amit, using hand signs, indicated the report was about the elderly man. He gently placed it on the manager's table. Sunil said, "Amit, I don't have time for random people." Amit politely urged him to at least look at it once. Sunil, uninterested, pushed the report back toward Amit and resumed his conversation. Amit quietly walked away and resumed his work. The atmosphere in the bank returned to normal, and soon it was evening. The next day, at exactly the same time, Charan Das returned, this time with a man in a suit holding a briefcase. Their entry caught everyone's attention. Charan Das signaled for the manager. Nervously, Sunil came out of his cabin. Charan Das said, "Didn't I tell you yesterday? You'd face the consequences of how you treated me. Now be ready for your punishment." Sunil was confused and slightly alarmed. He wondered, what punishment? What can he possibly do to me? Charan Das looked at him and said, "You are being removed from your position as manager. Amit will replace you. You will now handle field work." Sunil was shocked and asked angrily, "Who are you to remove me from my position?" Charan Das replied calmly, "You can consider me the owner of this bank. I hold 60% of the shares. I can remove or appoint anyone I wish." Everyone in the bank, including yesterday's customers, were shocked to hear this. All eyes were on Charan Das. The man with him opened the briefcase and pulled out official documents. One paper was Amit's promotion letter, officially appointing him as the new branch manager. The second document was Sunil's reassignment letter for field duties. The team informed Sunil that he could accept the new role, but he could no longer remain manager. Sunil began sweating and tried apologizing to Charan Das. But Charan Das sternly replied, "Apologize for what? Why should I forgive you? The way you treated me goes against this bank's core values. Have you even read the policy? In this bank, no one is to be judged by wealth. Everyone must be treated equally." Charan Das had founded the bank himself and had declared this principle when it was established. Charan Das continued, "I'm being kind by allowing you to keep working. Otherwise, I could have fired you completely. You judged me by my clothes, by my appearance. But Amit, who had nothing in his hand, still came and spoke to me with respect and tried to help. That's why he deserves this position. He understands how to treat customers with dignity." Then he called Seema and said, "I forgive you for your first mistake, but don't ever judge someone by their appearance again." Sunil began sweating and tried apologizing to Charan Das. But Charan Das sternly replied, "Apologize for what? Why should I forgive you? The way you treated me goes against this bank's core values. Have you even read the policy? In this bank, no one is to be judged by wealth. Everyone must be treated equally." Charan Das had founded the bank himself and had declared this principle when it was established. Charan Das continued, "I'm being kind by allowing you to keep working. Otherwise, I could have fired you completely. You judged me by my clothes, by my appearance. But Amit, who had nothing in his hand, still came and spoke to me with respect and tried to help. That's why he deserves this position. He understands how to treat customers with dignity." Then he called Seema and said, "I forgive you for your first mistake, but don't ever judge someone by their appearance again." Seema folded her hands and apologized. "I'm truly sorry, sir. I've made a terrible mistake. This won't happen again." Charan Das nodded and, along with the suited man, began to leave. As he walked away, he said loudly, "Everyone here can learn a lot from Amit. Learn as much as you can from him. It will be good for you. I'll keep sending people from time to time to report back to me about your conduct." Saying this, he left the bank. The entire bank staff was stunned and began discussing what had happened. They realized it was time to improve their behavior. They feared being next. News of Charan Das's actions spread everywhere. People praised the bank, saying, "If there's a true owner, it's him." Others just open banks and never check how their staff behaves. But Charan Das had fulfilled his duty and taught a valuable lesson to all. So what are your thoughts on Harandas and Amit? Let us know in the comments and share this story with others. If you liked the video, do like and subscribe to the channel. Our goal is not to offend anyone, but to help you learn something meaningful from these stories. See you in the next video with a new topic. Until then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you so much for watching.